Alright guys, and welcome to episode 2 of the GCI Traytec build video of this 2021 Dmax. This video we're going to be going through the mods of which we're going to be doing to this car, the wish list which I want to do to it, but before that we are going to get a little bit technical with all the scanning of the vehicle and touch on the design as well. So this is rear bumper off, we're scanning the rear radar system at the moment, so let's get into it. Alright, so we've got Stefan here from Target 3D. He's the guy we get in to 3D scan all our vehicles. We have done a full video of the 3D scan when we did an F250 and a Chevy 1500. Basically to run through quickly what we're doing here, this is a Faro arm. It is a 3D laser scanner. So what we do, we physically scan the car. So as you see the green laser going over the car, it then bounces straight into the computer and we build up an image of this vehicle so we can then get it into the computer and then design the best possible tray and canopy for it. So it means there's no need to prototype, we know it's gonna fit first go. There aren't any, oh bugger, we didn't see that mount there, because we know it's there because we have a 100% accurate image. The laser is about 0.1 of a millimeter accurate, and we can also go down to a 0.05 depending if we do a probing technique, which is a bit different to a laser scan. Alright, so what you can see here, we have removed the rear bumper of this Dmax, and this here is the actual rear sonar of this car. So this is the thing that's been stopping GCI Traytec completing tray and canopy packages for the Dmax up until now. So it's super critical that we get these sensors exactly where they are as factory to make sure we don't throw any error codes and that there's no issues whatsoever. So the best way to do it is to 3D scan it. We can't get data direct from Isuzu. So yeah, we 3D scan. So what this white stuff here is, that's a chalk spray to dull down, I guess, the shininess of the plastic on the sensor. It just makes the laser, it can pick it up much easier. So when it's really shiny, the laser doesn't work very well. So I put a chalk spray on it. It's actually a chalk spray out of a crack detection kit. And that way, yeah, we can pick it up within about 0.1 millimeter accuracy, which is really cool. All right, so from this point forward, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take off this sensor, I'm then gonna 3D model it, and then I can put my physical sensor overlaid on the scan. So it means my sensor's bang on where it is as per factory. This tub goes back on and then we drive it around until we finish the design. For Stefan at Target 3D, rule of thumb, every hour he spends laser scanning, he has another hour post-processing. So then he's gonna knit all the scans together, tidy it all up, and then he puts it on a Dropbox, send it to me, then I'll get it Monday morning. So we've got the scan data. Stefan has worked through the weekend to get everything to me by Monday morning. So what we're going to do now, we're going to have a look at the scan, sort of see what sort of features we need, what needs to happen with the tray to make sure all the functionality of the sensors works, and then also we'll build up the tray. We'll set the tray height and tray positioning, tray length. We'll just run through briefly how we set everything here at GCI Traytec. So in front of me here, this is the scan data. So it is a 0.1 millimeter accurate model of the exact car we scanned. So we can literally zoom in. Let's go to the fuel filler. So we can see exactly there what's happening with the fuel. This is, the resolution is wound all the way down so the computers can run it. Basically it's 1 in 100 scan points. Stefan actually uploads to me, otherwise my computer would have no chance of running it. Yes, it's a water-cooled computer, but we can't process all the data that he can give us. So these are the sensors here, these things hanging out the back, so that's what we need to replicate. We need to make sure that they are mounted exactly where they are as per factory, so they work once the tray goes on. So fast forward, that's your little break. Fast forward a few days because it takes me a while to do the design. Should I move slightly? So it looks different.
You would have already moved.
Should I move the chair a little bit so it's different?
No, it should be right.
Okay. Should I put a high vis in the background at all?
No.
Just leave it? Okay. All right. So fast forwarding a few days. All right, so I've designed the tray. What we've done, we'll run through it shortly, but yeah, as I said, we've mounted everything up. We've made new housings for those sensors, and everything is going to work as per factory, hopefully. So we're going to be putting it on in a few weeks from now. So obviously we still need to manufacture everything here. Manufacturing does take time. Things don't happen overnight. So we do need to run through the whole manufacturing process in the factory. So once all the parts come through, we'll then assemble it, and that will be the next episode. But for now, let's have a look at this. So this is my scan data that we just saw before with a tray on the back of it. First thing you'll notice are these guys down here. These are the sensor housings. There's many reasons why we've mounted them exactly where they have. I won't run through them all, but yeah, so that there is in theory going to be a perfect match for the factory sensor and the GCI Traytec tray. So we've integrated them as best as possible. We've picked up on all the lines, so they do flow really nicely with the back of the tray. And then yeah, it's going to be full field of vision on this side here as well with that sensor. So front infills, toolboxes, tail light buckets, the sensors, rear tunnel drawer, everything you can imagine, or everything you could want in the tray is mounted on this one, and will be going onto that Dmax. So tray height, what we've done, it is slightly higher than some of the other cars out there. So the cab sits quite low on the Dmax. So we've had to make the tray sit slightly higher, but it will make the sort of the rack or the roof rack on the cab, and then also the roof rack on the canopy quite level. So the line we've done here, so we have to sort of match the factory wheel arch of the tub. So otherwise there's not going to be enough sort of wheel clearance as you go into full bump. You're going to be scrubbing on everything. So we have to make sure that height's the same, and then we also take into consideration what's underneath. So with the tunnel drawers and water tanks, we know where they sit. So I'm just going to cut the tray in half so we can see exactly what it is. With the tray sitting where it is, that is the deepest tunnel drawer we do. So that's the same one we use on all the 79s and on the American builds. That also fits into this Dmax because there's quite a lot of clearance there. Water tank, we are still limited to our 36 because the next size up, which is a 75, that does hit on one of the cross members. So we can maximize that space down there as far as the tunnel drawer. And then also if we look head on, we do make sure the rear window is in full visibility of that window protector. So one last look at this tray, we'll spin it around. So this is sort of the last take we'll have up here, and then we'll get into the manufacturing. We'll run through the workshop as this tray is manufactured here at GCI Group. Let's spin this around one last time. So have a look at it here. It will look very much the same as this on the car. Obviously I think we're gonna go for a nicer black powder coat, but we will touch on that later. So yeah. That is the design for the brand new 2020 or 2021 Dmax. All right, so from here, the tray's obviously gonna get manufactured. We're gonna take this opportunity to go see what modifications we can do to the current model Dmax. So I know a lot of you guys have been hanging in to see exactly what mods we're gonna do. Before we sort of say what we're gonna do, start thinking yourself and post below in the comments what you would do if this was your Dmax. So we're not gonna go absolutely ridiculous. This car is being used every single day, so it still needs to be practical. So keep that in mind, I guess, as well as when we decide what we're gonna be doing to this car. But for now, let's go to EC Offroad. These guys modify vehicles day in, day out. We're going to sort of chat to the guys there, Dean and Kyle, to see what's possible. We're going to get a complete list, and then from there we'll pick out what we want to do and how we're going to modify this Dmax whilst the tray's in manufacture. Home run. All right, so we're here at EC Offroad with Kale, the owner. How are you?
Good, mate. Good to see you.
So basically, EC Offroad is sort of the specialist when it sort of comes to everything from a weekender build to the ultimate tourer. So we use these guys, so us at GCI Traytec, we team up with EC Offroad every time we need to do something that we don't specialize in. So obviously we do the trays and canopies, These guys do everything else. So maybe just run us through, we've done a few builds together now. What sort of the stuff have you done on our builds which GCI Traytec hasn't done?
Yeah, like you said, we can do everything from suspension, the wheels, tyres, get that thing looking good. All your exterior chrome deletes and your inside sort of trims, and then a lot of GVM upgrades, and then come obviously what we specialise in, the electrics, so lithium batteries, inverters, monitoring systems, air tanks, whatever really.
Yeah, you name it, you guys do it basically. It's cool. So Dmax, we bought a Dmax, brand newie. Where do we go? So obviously it's stock standard right now. It's done 3,000 Ks as it sits. We don't want to go crazy with it. It is still going to be a daily drive, so we don't want to go absolutely mental with the mods, but still needs to be a practical setup, sort of in between, I guess, the weekender and the full tourer.
Yeah, go away for a week or a weekend.
Yeah, exactly right. Where do you think we should go?
Right, yeah, so we put together a few options for the Dmax. You know, nothing too crazy, but something you're going to use on the weekend, practical, and you know, keep it affordable. So we get a roof platform on the top, you know, handy to throw stuff up there with some big light bar on the front, some work lights on the sides when you're pulling up to camp. On the front, of course, you know, that bull bar with a winch and some lights, it's going to give you that protection. And again, it's going to look cool. We'll color code it all up. So on the sides, we'll get some rock sliders, okay? So remember to slide over those rocks. And then of course, we'll do that chrome delete, get rid of all that ugly chrome on the door handles, the grille, full chrome delete.
So we're talking, going to take off the handles, the badges, everything that's chrome on the car.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it, take it,
we'll get it sprayed, we'll paint it probably a satin black or a gloss black, you know, it's going to improve that look and tie in with your canopy on the back.
Yeah, definitely.
Then moving on to the suspension. So we'll do a little GVM upgrade to help with the canopy and the water tanks and everything when she's loaded up. The it's a full suspension, 2-inch lift, GVM upgrade. Try and get some remote res shocks in there, you know, so you can adjust them when your canopy's loaded up.
If we're going to be putting a fair bit of weight onto it, obviously the GVM is going to be awesome, but what about airbags? What sort of options are there?
Yeah, you don't want it sagging. So local guys, the Airbag Man, they do some awesome products. So you can get some leaf helpers in the rear.
Yep.
We can put onboard air. You know, these days there's a range of different controls for those airbags, from your manual paddles to the manual connect the hose up at the rear, to full wireless remote, to digital buttons up the front with the gauge. There's heaps of options. So probably roll with the digital buttons up the front and little gauges to make it handy to adjust on the fly, some airbags. Yeah, so after we get that suspension in, we'll look at doing a full remap tune and an exhaust system to get that little bit of note, nothing too crazy, you know. And then obviously to protect it all, we do the Pomponazzi coating in-house and the TU coating underneath is like a rust proof for when you go on the beach. But yeah, the pomp coating is amazing. It's just that ceramic coating. You go out, you get your pinstripes, literally just wipe off. It's incredible, yeah. So on the inside, the Dmax is the new Dmax these days. It's got pretty good, but we'll look at getting your HEMA mapping and stuff on that head unit. Do a few little tweaks there for you, see if we can run some gauges or something, and yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, awesome. I reckon the only thing we've missed out of all that, maybe some tint. Do you guys do tint as well?
Yeah, we do tint, yeah.
Put some tint on it.
Wheels, tyres, we'll get get some mud terrains or something.
Yeah, some all terrains and muddies. We'll see how we go. I guess, yeah, that is a full list, I guess, of what you can do to a Dmax. Obviously, we probably won't do it all. There's going to be, we'll sort of go through everything we've spoken about today and sort of figure out exactly what we want to do to make it the ideal solution for us at GCI Traytec. So this car, we're going to take it basically to all the shows. It's going to be going down to the Melbourne 4x4 show. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really cool setup, and can't wait to get into it with the boys here at EC. So that is a complete list of the mods which are possible to the Dmax from the guys here at EC Offroad. So obviously we're going to do the tray canopy, these guys will do everything else. So again, if you guys haven't followed them on all the socials yet, the YouTube, the Instagram, the TikTok, all of them, get onto them. They're so cool. They've built this Ram, they've got the 200 series, they've done a lot of builds together, and there's a lot more coming up as well. So Melbourne 4x4 show is coming up in 8 weeks now. Make sure you guys, if you are in Melbourne, come down and see us. There's something really big in the pipe works which we're going to be revealing down in Melbourne. So I won't let on too much about it, but it is going to be really, really cool. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next little episode. All right.
Do you have TikTok?
I don't know why I say TikTok all the time.
What do you have? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Just 3.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
G'day, mate.
All right.
Alistair, how are you? Big hand.
Clap. Just one clap, please. Yep, good.
Come down to obviously front bar, winch, lights. Local guys here, airbag man, they do some awesome, cool.
But obviously you mentioned GVM. What's actually involved with doing a GVM upgrade on these cars? Getting it done.